My first job was as a cereal chemist, inventing ways to monitor wheat quality in plant breeding programs so we could sell wheat to Japan and Korea to make noodles. The claustrophobia of the lab was followed by a stint of teaching the fundamentals of crop science and agronomy to students at Longronon Agricultural College. It took me closer to my goal of agricultural extension and down a path of applied research. I finally landed a role as an independent cropping consultant, where I learned from the best in the farming trade while tangibly helping solve problems for farm businesses around kitchen tables, in farm utes and at crowded field days. It introduced me to the concept of farming being an investment option to complement shares, bonds and commercial property in the fledgling superannuation industry, and a source of meaningful employment for those farmers not lucky enough to inherit the right to farm. These experiences were consolidated with 3 years working for a financial services firm that owned and operated farms on behalf of a large Australian superannuation fund. The company boss, John Nolan, called me the farmer. My real farmer mates back in the Wimmera were highly amused, but that job took me to broadacre farming regions up and down the east coast and across the Nullarbor to WA, across numerous soil types, climate zones and time zones. What didn't change across the country was the diversity of people and farm management performance. What also stayed the same were the fundamentals of how plants grow, how economics work, and how people and their resources influence both of those things. Understanding these was the gift of an education in agricultural science. So powerful, it could solve problems worth $10,000, $10 million or $100 million in Queen Street or in Queensland. Stepping away from the fast pace of corporate life and returning to Echuca, I've continued to solve problems for family and corporate-owned farming entities and to influence research to keep solving problems. Now, entering my 4th decade of this career in agricultural science, I'm doing work I love with people I like. The droughts, floods, bushfires and boom periods continue to come and go, as do shock and tragedy and pleasant surprises. I'm inspired by those who make the most of difficult times and capture the best of good times while keeping perspective along the way. It's not just financial and farming skill, it's the ability to solve problems, get things done, and lead a meaningful life with loved ones. It's the ability to control the controllable and be in the driver's seat. It's time for me to share the fundamentals behind that inspiration, to guide you to less worry, more grain, more profit, and more thriving. It's a noisy world out there, changing and uncertain as this year's pandemic has shown. Generations before us have survived what has been thrown at them and gone on to thrive, and you can too. Life will be okay in the long run. The premise of this book is simple. You can build a robust and highly profitable farm business by paying attention to crops, people and money. You can do this and stay well, enjoy life and build a legacy. It all depends on making choices that take you towards your goals. The message is simple. The execution requires commitment and the ability to navigate the complex beast of the modern farming system. One thing is for sure, it can't happen if you don't take the steering wheel.